Hey everybody. Well, today we're going to take a look at this brand new set from Lego. It's the Ninjago Hydro Bounty. So this is set number 71756 and it consists of 1,159 pieces. So this set officially comes out on August 1st here in the US. And full disclosure, I'm not the biggest Ninjago fan, but I think they have some of the coolest looking sets. I mean, look at this thing. Especially their Destiny's Bounty sets where it's the ship. So I built two Destiny's Bounty sets in the past. I did a review on one of them. And this is the latest version. It's kind of like a submarine version of it called the Hydro Bounty. And it looks like it's going to be pretty big when it's built. It's got a couple of really cool mini subs right in here. Comes with a ton of minifigures and it's got some great features going on up here. Also in here, there's a little bit of an interior in there. I love this chariot looking thing that the main villain drives around on with that kind of manta ray powered thing. So yeah, this should be a pretty cool set. On the back of the box, we can actually see all kinds of really cool features that this set has. Now, probably one of the coolest features of this is that the front part of it comes off and turns into a mech that a minifigure can actually fit in. They actually reused these brand new pieces that were used on the Shuttle Discovery set that I did a review on, and they already found a new way to use these parts as the clear covering for where the little mini subs are stored inside there. These little things open up like it shows down here. And I'm sure it has some weaponry and other stuff on it. And I think there's actually a little interior in here too. So it's actually got some really cool stuff going on. All right, well, let's take a look at all the parts. So this set has a total of 8 bags of parts here. And somehow I thought there'd be more than that, but maybe it's because it's mostly hollow. We do have this bag here that is unnumbered and it has like the lower hull sections. And I think parts of that thing that flips open in the back. All right, well, let's take a look at the stickers. Here's the stickers that this set comes with, and we can see it's kind of sticker heavy, but it's all right, because I mean, it's kind of expected for a set like this. And I also love this. This is a vinyl piece. It's that sail that goes on the back. So I like when they have those kinds of parts in there. Here's the instruction book, and there's not anything too crazy in this. I mean, it's pretty much normal. If there's any interesting things that are kind of associated with the build, there might be some with the mechanics on the back. Then I'll certainly point them out. But other than that, I'll probably just have the whole thing built. All right, so let's get started on this. And there it is. This thing is complete and it's big. This thing is a full 2 feet long, and I can barely even get it into this picture here. It's so long. So yeah, it's a very cool looking ship. And well, I guess I'll just go ahead and start showing you some of the close-ups on it because it's really hard to show it from this vantage point. Looking at it from the top here, you can see that it's a huge piece. It's very long. It's got some really great details on here. So let's take a look at the front right here. This is that little mech that comes off at the front, and I'll show you that in just a minute. I do like the point that's on the front of there. And that little dome, you can actually put a minifigure down inside there. The whole thing has got a really nice sleek look to it, and all these little details of the gold trim, the little dragon heads that they put on there. The stickers do definitely add a nice little touch to all of this, and they make quite a generous use of these pieces, which I don't know where they originally came from, but you can see they're all over. And these things are adjustable. You can actually, bend these back and forth however you want to have these go. Same with the one in the front here. You can actually have that whichever angle you want. Inside here, you can see that's where the mini subs are stored, and they fit in there very nicely. These are those pieces that I was mentioning earlier that used to be, they were originally made for the Space Shuttle Discovery, and so it makes a really nice section for the middle area for the storage section. We also have this nice long little kind of rail that goes along there. There is the cockpit, and you can see that there is another dome right here, and this does open. I don't know if I can get it to open because it's hard to get it in there, but well, it does open. I'll try to show you that in a minute. There's where that sail is, and this is also adjustable. You can make it whichever way you want. You can make it higher or lower, and try not to make the top come off. I'll show you that as well. There's the little engine sections, and these are also fully adjustable. Same with the upper and lower one here. There's the cockpit. That was really fun building that. You can kind of see inside there, and I'll show you the interior as well. All right, so let me show you some of the cool features this has. On the front of the engines here, we have this kind of nice little turbine kind of thing, and these do spin. And then, and they spin pretty freely too. You'll notice there's a string right here. I'll show you what that does here in just a moment. Also like how they did the portholes. That's a really cool way that they did it, because the windows are they're actually square, but because they put that ring on there, it gives it the appearance of a porthole on there. There you can kind of see inside that cockpit area again. And I also like this detailing on the side where they got that little printed disc piece and the kind of lantern looking things with more of those really awesome looking dragons. Those look fantastic. One of the trademarks of these Destiny's Bounty ships is they always have these pipes kind of sticking up, and sure enough, they actually did put one on here, which I think is great. This is that dome that I was showing you earlier, and now that I got it opened up a little bit, I can show you how this actually lifts up. And you can see down inside, there's an interior, which I'll give you a better look at in just a minute, but I think that's really cool that they have that feature on there as well. I like the use of these black pieces to make the roof kind of look, you know, it kind of gives it an Asian flair, which is really neat. I don't know how they pull it off, but they do. So this whole top section here, you can actually take this off. And then on the inside is the interior. So you can actually see that there is actually 2 little control panels down in there. And 2 minifigures can sit in there. And then there's also another control panel right back there where somebody can actually sit. And then, of course, somebody can steer the ship. So they got the front section here with a little bit of a compass. And then, of course, the wheel can turn. Got to steer this baby. This dome back here, you can actually open it like that, and which doesn't make it very watertight, I guess. It was really clever how they did these side bits right here, because when I was building this, I thought they were just going to leave it the way it was with kind of like this pole, and I'm just trying to align these a little better. But it turns out that these little flat square pieces just clip on there and kind of fill in that corner, so that was really cleverly done. And it also looks like a vent or something on both sides there. This also has the spring-loaded missiles on each side. There's one over here, one over there, and they are blended in very nicely. In fact, this little red light almost looks like it's another missile there, but you wouldn't even know it's there. Then, of course, you just push on these to fire them off, and man, do they ever. Now, I think it's really cool how they figured out how to store the mini-subs in here. So this little compartment opens up, and there they are, and they're kind of tight in there, but they do fit. It's kind of a hassle to get them out or in. It seems like they're always getting caught on something, but they both fit in there. Let's see if I can get this one out in one piece here. And there they are. So let's take a closer look at those. I gotta say, I really like these little mini subs. They're actually pretty cool the way they look. So each one is designed for, I can't remember which character is for each one, but you can see the sticker design over here. They each have their own weapons. This one has kind of that sharp spike thing, and this one has more like a little, I don't know, like a missile type of looking thing. They have the cockpit that can open, and the minifigures can sit inside there. There's not much for detail. There's no control console or anything like that, but it does look pretty good. You can also flip down these little fins down here on the side just to make it look a little more like, you know, it's water-worthy. Yeah, it looks really good like that. And then, of course, these are the spinning propellers, and these spin really good. I mean, look at that thing. It's a very nice, smooth mechanism they have for the back of these. They work really excellent. But yeah, those are really cool. I like those. On the back here, where they keep the subs, are a couple of little storage boxes, and they're kind of hard to get out of there, but let me show you what those look like. Here's the little box, and there's not much to it, but it does look pretty nice, and you can just take this top section off. There's nothing in there, but I suppose you can put whatever you want inside. And they give you 2 of these. And then these actually fit this way down inside. You just got to put them down in here, and it's a little bit tricky to get them in here. It's kind of tight quarters in there, but if you can get them in there, oh, I actually got it in there. And they just kind of fit, so it's perfect. They actually have a little storage area back there. So the back of the cockpit here has some pretty nice details that we can see going on here. That's that bubble window that we saw earlier. Now there's actually a really cool mechanism. You see this little thing right here? What you do, that's where the string comes in handy. When you pull this out, the engines flick out like that. So it kind of is supposed to be in like turbo mode. And all the Destiny's Bounties had some kind of a feature like that where that would happen. Now these things, they are, unfortunately, you have to kind of manually fold them back into place, which I wish they actually would go back in if you push this part in. But at least the way it is, it still works pretty good. And it's a nice smooth mechanism as well. You just pull that out, and it looks pretty cool. And this kind of hinge mechanism that they got going on both of these, that's how that works. And I love how they still have this detail going on. And the whole thing kind of slides along on that little, see how that kind of slides up like that? It's pretty ingenious, actually. I don't know how these guys figure it out, but yeah, that's a really great feature. Now, the front of the ship here is where the mech is, the hidden mech. Now, I had to kind of pre-loosen this because it's not the easiest thing to pull off, but this whole front end just pops off. And you can see the little clip things right here, which clip onto the little red clips here that hopefully you can see. Maybe not. Let me turn it around. But you can see right in there that there's these little red clips. And you can also see the really cool detail right there. It looks like a little, I don't know, like a little nuclear reactor or something right in there in the center. A nice little detail that they put in there, considering that, you don't see it unless you take that front mech section off. So here is the cool little mech that you see that's on the front of the ship. And it's pretty ingenious how they figured this out. So the bottom here is actually the legs, and they're on these little ball joints here on the front. So these come out like this and this. And then the feet are on kind of like a ball, like a ratchet point like that. All right, so it's going to be standing like this. All right, and then the arms, let's see, which way do these go? It goes this way and this way. And then these little white sections here without the sticker, that comes unclipped like that. And same thing for this side. And these become the forearms of the mech. And you can see that they got these cool little weapons right here on the front. So yeah, you can put the minifigure up inside here. That little dome opens up. And you can put them so that they're standing inside there, like they're operating this thing. There's no control panel, but still looks good. So yeah, you can kind of make it look like now that this thing is, lumbering across and doing some more of the fighting. So yeah, that's pretty neat. I don't know how they figured that out, but it's pretty cool. And it all kind of goes back together. The little sword handle here goes into this clip. It all goes back together like this. And then these come up front like this. And then you just collapse the feet back down. And these just kind of fit flush down here like that. And then you just snap this back in with these clips into the front of the ship. So it's pretty smart. Here's the minifigures of Kai, Jay, Cole, and Zane. We can see them in their full scuba outfit. And they each have their own weapons. So they have the same base gun piece, but then they all have their own little gold weaponry on the top there. And they're wearing their full scuba gear. This is the first time I've gotten the scuba pieces. It's made of rubber, so they got the little tank on the back. They're wearing their little katanas on the back, which is kind of cool. They still have room for those. And then, of course, their flippers. And the prints on these guys are pretty neat. They have some really nice printing going on. Pretty detailed. Unfortunately, you cannot see the printing on the back because the tank kind of hides it. See, there we go. But see how the tank kind of hides all the detail back there? There's that one. That orange looks really good. See how that silver really shows up? That looks really good. Zane here. Yeah, very nice. They always do a good job on those. Here are their alternate faces, and you can see they're a little meaner or more determined on their alternate face. I try to keep them happy. And then Zane doesn't have an alternate face, being a robot. He's just kind of got that weird looking little port-like thing on the back. Here is Lloyd and Nia and the Mare Guard, and they look really good too. Everybody's got pretty much the same scuba diving outfit, just different colors, of course, for their outfits here. And these guys have their own weaponry as well that differ from the other ones. So that's kind of cool right there. They also have their alternate faces, which I'll show you. There's Nia. I really like this Mare Guard guy. He's pretty cool looking. It's like a snake head. Look at that. So we've seen this figure before in a previous set, but I think the eyes were actually molded in like a clear blue color. But yeah, it's an excellent piece, and I like the torso, and look at the gold that's on there. There's the back of him. He's got that epaulette on his shoulder. But yeah, very cool looking. So let me show you the alternate faces of these two. And there they are with their more angry faces as well. So yeah, whichever way you want them to look, just flip the head. Looks pretty cool. So these are the Woobots, and they're supposed to be some kind of robot version of Master Wu, I guess. You can see the really nice printing, and then they also have like a black belt right there. I can try to focus in on him. Now, apparently, now I didn't see the episode that these guys show up, but apparently these don't look anything like what they looked like in the cartoon. And that's probably because, you know, oftentimes Lego gets early drawings or whatever of characters and sets so that they can get started on making these sets, which go into production like, you know, a year or months before the show actually comes on the air. And that's happened with Star Wars sets as well, where something doesn't look quite accurate, and that's probably what happened here, even though Ninjago is a Lego property, but they still look cool. Now here is the main villain. This is Prince Kalmar, and we can see that he's in his manta ray or stingray powered chariot, which is pretty cool looking. I like the little flags and the details on there. Little sticker work there, kind of like that gold braiding. I love how he has the stingray on a little rein right there, which is pretty cool. It's the first time I've gotten one of these stingray pieces, which looks pretty amazing, I gotta say. The detail on that is really great. Prince Kalmar is another amazing looking figure. You can see all the cool detail. Look at the print that's on the front of him. More of that kind of gold shiny look. I like the chest plate area. That face is the face only a mother could love. Some great shoulder details there. There's the back of it. Looks like he's got little breathing tubes, kind of like an octopus or something. And of course he's got the barbed tentacles on the back. That headpiece looks great. So yeah, very neat. And I like that he's carrying his little trident there as well. Interestingly enough, they do provide this thing. This is kind of cool. It's like a little hair rack. And so oftentimes you don't get the separate hair pieces for the characters. If they're wearing scuba gear, they're usually stuck with that. But these are the hair pieces for Kai, Lloyd, and Jay. And also you'll get this piece here. This is the medallion, the MacGuffin in the movie. Everybody's always after this thing. And this is like a nice little dual molded piece here. And you can see the blue is kind of like a pearlescent color. It looks really nice when it catches the light. So let me show you what these guys look like with their hair pieces on. And here is Lloyd, Kai, and Jay without all their scuba gear on and with their alternate hair pieces. So I think it's kind of cool that you can actually have them just looking normal. And that makes it easier also to put them inside the whole Hydro Bounty, so maybe they can be in the cockpit area and running everything, which makes sense because Master Wu doesn't come with this set. But they would fit easier, and it would make more sense that they're not wearing all of their scuba outfits, but those hair pieces look great. So there we go, the latest version of the Destiny's Bounty, which is called the Hydro Bounty this time. So this is from season 15 of the show. Like I said, I'm really not that big of a Ninjago fan. I'm really not that seasoned on it. But I just find that Ninjago's got some of the coolest looking sets. I mean, you get a ton of minifigures, you get a lot of specialized pieces that you don't see in other sets, and other kind of things like this little sail piece right here. And just the overall look of this thing is so cool. I mean, it looks kind of like a plane, but it also looks like a submarine, and yet it still has the flavor of the Destiny's Bounty. Somehow they just pulled it off and got the look for it. Great minifigures. I love the villain figures, and just really unique stuff going on here. So this set comes out on August 1st of 2021. It's going to retail for $130 here in the US. So if you are interested in getting it, keep an eye out for it at Lego, the Lego stores, Lego Online. You'll probably find this at Target and Walmart too, because they always carry a lot of different Ninjago sets. This is definitely going to be the main piece from the latest line of sets. This is going to be the main one that everybody's probably going to want. And so, and even though it's as big as it is, it doesn't really take up that much real estate, being as it is pretty narrow. And you can put most of those minifigures in the Hydro Bounty, you know, somewhere in there, so you don't have to have them all sitting out like that. So yeah, very cool set, and keep an eye out for August 1st. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'd appreciate that as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. So thanks again, and have a good one.